Morning, everyone. This is Tiger, and today I'm going to tell you about my first big scooter experience with mine. A Suzuki Burgman I bought back in '08. In 2008, I had upgraded my scooter to the Burgman line so I could go on the freeway because I was riding it. I rode every day. I rode in the winter and I didn't know the rain, but just rode year round. But just some things I was doing, and so man, if I could get on the freeway, I could, because I did a lot of mystery shopping, and I had to go outside of town a little bit, and so it just made more sense. So I went out and I found one for I think $2,500, and it was a nice Suzuki Burgman 400, and I got it, and I put a few thousand miles on it. And one day I was running up to Indy, and beautiful day, and I stopped up in Batesville, and I remember getting off at the exit, and I just taking my time and whatever, and I pull in. No, so there's a rest stop there, and then I'm getting ready to get off the freeway, and all of a sudden, I hear a pop, and motor died. Man, so what is this? So I stopped, and right there at the rest stop, I pulled in, and I was like, man, I didn't smell nothing. And so well, so I hit the start button, and it started. It started up, and I was like, okay, I'm good. And I went on up, got back on the freeway, but when you're not the expert, something's wrong, you're just like, man, I don't know what it is, something ain't wrong. And I got off at the Kroger. I remember being at the Kroger, and I just called the tow truck, I said, well, I guess I'm going back home. And so I did. Took it in, dropped it took it home, and then I rode it to the dealer up the street. I think it was Cycle Specialties at the time, there in Fairfield. And they had to they had to check it, and they didn't understand it because the piston had seized. It seized up on me, but I was still driving it. They're like, it don't make sense because there was evidence, and sometimes, they can tell you what happened, but they don't know why. And so, since, some of these things are a lot of them are single piston motors, so it's a bad situation to be in. So the guy's like, well, we can. What they do is they ship the motor out, they send the motor off, and then a machine shop will take and bore out the hole. That there's they can overbore, quote, and you can get another piston or the same piston with a sleeve on it. And so you end up the scooter itself had a 360 cc's. It was called a 400. And so the new piston was going to get me about 380, and it cost me about $1,000. I mean, and the thing is that sucker took 4 months to get back. I had no scooter for 4 months, and I was miserable. And so the whole summer went by, and I got it back I think September. And it never ran right. It just, I don't know. I was never happy with it after that. And so, what do you do? So you're just kind of torn on everything. So I took, and the next spring, I was talking to my dad, and his friend had a Burgman 650, and these suckers would max out at 105. So I said, well, it's a bigger one, and he had it for, while he didn't ride anymore. And so my dad called him and said, hey, you know, Carrie's looking at getting a Burgman, a big one, if you want to sell it? He goes, what? I'll say, made me a deal. I mean, I think it was like $3,500, and had a custom Corbin seat, and it was nice. It was black, it was beautiful. Didn't have a lot of miles on it, and so I called him up and talked to him, and I said, okay. I said, well, I'll tell you what, man, I'll take a bus. So I took a bus up, and Ray came down, and he met me at the bus station and took me home, and I sat on this thing, and boy, that seat was built up. It was a custom, man. I couldn't touch the ground, and I thought I was going to kill myself. And I paid him, and I took off. It was a miserable ride home with this custom seat. It's supposed to fit you to a T, really just fit in. It's hard, okay? So it's not like a comfy seat. It's supposed to be so custom that it knows only you're behind, right? So I was coming home, and it was one of the weirdest runs home because I got down around, Findlay, Ohio, and there was an electrical storm. And I mean, just lightning everywhere. I mean, it was like a fireworks show. And I couldn't, I was like, I don't know, man. So anyway, so I pulled over, got a hotel, because I didn't want to get struck by lightning. So stayed the night, got up the next morning, rode home. And I mean, the most miserable ride I've had I ever remember. It was, and I had to do it. I had to get home. And so I took this bike and I rode it for a year. I put a lot of miles on it. I bought an old seat. I fixed it up, made it comfortable. And with that, I actually really got into making custom seats for people. This, it was a good bike. I got roughly 45 miles a gallon. And, this one was a 5-speed, so it would go maybe 100, something like that. It was really, really fast, I'll tell you. So the one really weird part was my dad had told me about the throttle. It's like, well, you have to watch that throttle. It ain't no motorcycle where you clutch it, and there's no clutch. It's automatic. So I'm in this dude's garage, right? And I get on it, and it's turned on, and I'm like, okay. So I gave it just a little gas, and buddy, that sucker jumped. I mean, you've seen them stupid videos where people get on the bikes and don't know, and all of a sudden they just do it and they crash it, right? I almost did that. I literally almost did that. I went about 3 feet, and somehow I saved it. And there was still a few scary moments after that with those throttles on those scooters, because most of them are, they're chain driven, but it's just direct power. It's just, man, and that will get you. Let me tell you what. So anyway, I drove that scooter for about a year. Really, really nice scooter. Drove it about a year. And then I decided, the new ones had the overdrive, and that would let you cruise a little bit better, and you could get a little faster and a little better mileage. So anyway, all right, guys, so this story's out, and I'll catch you on the next one.